the LCS Academy, powered by Verizon. We're here in the summer split. Unfortunately, because of some technical difficulties, we were unable to speak to 100 Thieves Will. We will get him into an interview as soon as possible, though. Gotta hear from the star jungler here, rising throughout the Academy split, and pun intended, by the way. But what a dominant series from 100 Thieves to really show out in the beginning of week number 2. Show out with Busio. I think that's huge. But we got to dive into our final series of the day to kick off week number 2. It is Dignitas Academy versus CLG Academy. And Cubby, when you're looking at these rosters, when you're looking at Dignitas Academy, there's some insanity there, I would say. But in reality, I'm just keeping with the puns. In reality, this entire roster is performing to a T.
I mean, I had to do my hair up just for this one, as I got my luggage back,
you did
guys.
the updo.
Yeah. Only
the development. It's the anime arc we've all been waiting for.
And only 2 days late. I couldn't, like, my razor, wasn't charged up, but I'm trying to do it up big for this one. And hey, I think it's gonna be a heck of a match, as both these teams sitting at 4-2 after our first week, and I think both these teams are gonna be a good test to see where they are at in the standings. Each are gonna have a couple subs, but I think those subs have been performing admirably. I mean, especially, I think Tony Top and Rosethorn have performed really well. I think it's some of the best league I've seen out of Tony Top so far. Even Kelsey Moser, a former coach of Tony Top, said she thinks he's playing great. I have to agree, and Tig off to a good start. We'll see if they can bounce back from that 0-2 that 100 Thieves just gave him the last week.
Yeah, I think that's the more important thing to talk about is always the bounce backs and always what comes next, right? We have the motto of who's next, but I always like to think of like what comes next, and especially for the Dignitas roster, you got to look at the mid lane. You got to look at Insanity. He even drew us a little bit of a bee-themed drawing for our first week of Pictionary, but him himself has been performing amazingly to bring up the performance of the entire roster. When you're seeing the synergies work out, Desiree, it is through this mid lane and through the majority strong performing members.
Okay, I'm mad that you ran past that B picture thing, but we'll go through that. Yeah, Insanity has been a phenomenal part of Dignitas and being able to show up. I am talking on stream right now. Sorry, I had a little mute problem there, but broadcast did hear me on this one. Insanity has been showing up phenomenally for Dignitas.
Yes.
Taking a big leadership role. He was incredibly proficient when he ran some of the more oddball picks, like we've been seeing Ivern Rengar over back from the later halves of 12.9. Insanity running stuff like that when he was on 100 Thieves Next, but he was stepping in the position where Darkwings was, and he's looking great in that role.
I think so too. It's not just the role, it's the fact that he's bringing out many different things in the role, right? And like showing us some different flavors early on in the split. And I know we've talked so much about, the meta and things like that, and especially now this week with a completely different shift. I just wonder, like, I'm hoping for craziness, Cubby. That's what I'm here for.
I really liked the Vel'Koz Nami pairing. I know that like Vel mid and Nami, I think that it provided for like strong early game bot, but empowering Vel'Koz with that poke with Nami is pretty gross in the later stages, and they definitely showed that. As I thought Insanity had a really good debut for the week. If they would have found some wins or a little bit of better play, I thought that Insanity would have been my best performing mid laner of the week. Thinking about the games against TSM especially, he hard carried his team to a couple of victories, especially in that second game. So I really hope it continues against Triple. Well, I also think had a pretty nice week one is CLG, thanks to a little bit of help from the Luger boosting service and some really good play from their top side, had a 4-2 start.
I can appreciate that.
Hey, Triple tweeted it out. I can run with it now. It's fine.
Oh my God, you've been allowed.
His roster picture is his coach picture. I love it, Nash.
Oh, that's
goodness.
Sweet.
It's great. The tie and everything, just to know it's a formal occasion.
Yeah.
But in all actuality, CLG Academy, they did finish first in the regular season last split, not coming out on top in Proving Grounds, but I think it's important to state this roster has changed a decent amount, and we're seeing some of that kind of come to fruition in the first week or so, but here coming to week 2, you expect some of those gears to be turning a little bit, even with the turnover, Cubby.
Yeah, so update for CLG fans, it will be MASH today. Part of this is that Luger is now playing in LCS scrims, of course, a game start this upcoming week, but also there is some hope that we might see Meech tomorrow, as I know that Meech, in the process of getting that visa approved and relocating the CLG, and that's a player that especially a lot of amateur fans are excited about. Desirex, I know some of you're looking forward to seeing. But for the side of CLG, I think that what we're going to see out of this team in this split is going to be good solo lane play and a focus around the bot side, as Jenkins has always been at his best when he is left on his lonesome, as he makes the most out of those opportunities. And I think Jenkins especially, I mean, we joke about the Luger boosting service, and rightfully so. Luger was fantastic in Academy last week. But I thought that Jenkins, in their 4 wins, really stepped it up in the later games, and especially was a big part of those wins against Golden Guardians.
But we got to talk about Triple. We got to talk about the mid lane. We got to talk about a standing member of CLG Academy who himself is able to pull them up by the bootstraps, it feels like sometimes. And even, you know, making good on some previous issues from spring as well in attempts to carry Desrex.
Yeah, I mean, Triple was looking great in getting CLG back from a lot of these deficits that we're having. And it came off a lot of picks, a lot of positioning. In this one, this was a prime example of his positioning as priority targeting, as he's able to go after both Array and take out Choose in the process. You know, if
Nice
you watch
flash.
a little bit of what Triple was on yesterday, not yesterday, excuse me, last week when he was up against CLG, the picks he was able to utilize off that Talia in the mid lane, getting both Harry and Jan. I think Triple is just so good, man.
Yeah, and you get to see some of the Talia highlights there. And again, it's playing into the meta. Both these mid laners are going to have such an interesting story to tell here going into this series, Cubby.
It's something that, you know, it feels like both of these mid laners too, like there have been stints in Academy. Thinking back to FlyQuest last summer, Triple stepping up and doing really well with NXI on the Academy stage. Insanity, of course, was in LCS last summer with Immortals. I think it's something that, you know, these guys do have a lot to prove. I know at the moment we are seeing some highlights from Rosethorn to BM as well. I want to give a special shout out to Rosethorn, as I think heading into the series, you know, Rosethorn stepping up to sub for a team that he was on last split, that, mind you, took first in Academy regular season, and is not going to hold on to him for the rest of this split once Kevy gets over. I think Rosethorn performed so damn well, and, you know, to have, like, in week 1, and to have the mental fortitude to kind of drop your ego, play your best for the team that, you know, isn't going to be holding on to you for the rest of the summer, I think is really, really admirable from a young player.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, and a huge part of the wins against Team Liquid, mind you, who was 4-0 and are top dogs coming into the last game of last week in CLG. They surprised everyone when they 2-0'd them.
That's what I was going to say right there. These clips are of that 2-0. That's what's being highlighted right now. Rosethorn in the early game, you were talking about it. He tracked Armeo well. He played towards the bot lane to really enable down there and, you know, get both Luger and Breezy going. And as I was saying earlier, Triple with a lot of those mid and late game picks, those were the keys that got that game number 1 for CLG.
Yeah. I think that's the biggest part is, and I know we're harping. Chat, stay with me for just a moment. It's striking when the iron is hot. Again, that's the conversation. I love that you bring up the conversation about Rosethorn so much in the time that, you know, he doesn't have all the time in the world to perform, but he's able to do so in the moments. And I think there is a reason why this jungler was lauded so heavily before, and maybe even with the slouching performances, we can still see that come through with him. And I think that's an important thing to kind of keep your eye on going into this next game. But as we talk about it, right, there's so many matchups to highlight, and Rosethorn's gonna have no slouch across from him in XU. I feel like he's the star child of Academy right now, but that is also another important factor to think about in the fact that Dignitas Academy have such a strong jungler in XU.
XU for me it's been fun to watch evolve in Academy, because I feel like XU in amateur, you know, some of the time that you would have seen him last year as well, Desrex, like we were watching this guy like, wow, when he plays Lee Sin, when he plays Graves, this guy is insane. But outside those champions, there were struggles, especially thinking back to last spring. And I think that we've visually seen XU improve, work on some of those struggles. The fact that he had a positive win rate on Hecarim last split was a big deal. These are, like, he was not good in the farming meta. He was not good with farming junglers. It feels like he's gotten to the point where he can play that meta, but he still really excels when he's able to make aggressive plays, break the script of the game, and catch teams off guard. And that's something where I'm really looking to see if XU can do that today against Rosethorn and get his team going. And then, of course, while I think XU is the one that a lot of people talk about on Dig, rightfully so, I always get excited about Spawn. And I think that Spawn has had a really nice start to the split. So I'm really hoping that we see Spawn step up against Mash, who we haven't seen him play competitively since 2020 summer. He's going to do his best today, subbing in for the team that he works with every day, but we'll see if Spawn can take advantage of that in the bot lane.
I like it, and I can't wait to see as we kick off our final series of the day. We'll see what happens between Dignitas Academy and CLG Academy as Deserex Cubby, take it away.
Ready for this one, and I want to kind of piggyback off of Mash, man. This guy just can't leave the pro scene no matter how hard he tries. You know, you were talking about that summer. I believe he was on FlyQuest getting swapped around with Wild Turtle on that one. Now just doing the strategic coaching for CLG. But you know, just when I thought I was out, they pull me back in, and now we have Mash again.
Hey, you got to do what you got to do. Help out the team, and you know, it's an org-wide thing as well. As this point, I know Luger's such a competitor, man. He just wants to play on the best stage possible. Like, even subbing in for Academy games, knowing Luger is probably like, yeah, like, put me on that stage, you know? Like, I will skip out on a couple scrims to go play, like, at a competitive stage with the Academy guys. And I thought he performed really well. But it's time for Mash to see what he can do, as, again, hopefully we get Meech in as soon as possible. Rumblings, that might even be tomorrow. Fingers crossed. But until then, got to take a peek at this draft, because that bot lane ban pattern that we're seeing, it's continuing. And we're going to see Spawn on a new champ, as Spawn JJ, last week, they only played Lucian, Nami, or Senna TK. So curious to see what we see out of Spawn here.
All of those bot lane bans.
Oh boy, Zeri's up.
But that leaves the Zeri wide open. Something that's been hyped up by you, Cubby. So Dignitas, they're going to have this on Spawn.
I think Zeri, like, durability meta, it just works for Zeri. And even with the crit build now, again, with Zeri, the longer the team fight goes, the more you get powered up, and the more damage you can do, the more maneuverability you have. And Spawn, this was a champion that he was really, really solid at last split when it first came out. So Spawn excels at team fight positioning. When you give him that extra move speed, he's going to make the most of it. We want to see if we can see Spawn perform on the Zeri, whereas CLG, you can control it with the guns of Aphelios early, and Rose Thorn on Viego, always scary.
So at least in the past, Spawn hasn't had the best time on Zeri. Did try and pull it out in the Proving Ground Spring. Unfortunately went 0-2 with it. So still trying to have his big standout performance here with the Zeri pick. But given how much of a boost it has, I don't think there's too much to be said.
Yeah. There was the one game I remember from PG where he was like diving turrets against Taco Gaming. He was insane on the Zeri, but I know that some of the other games he did drop. But yeah, it could be a sign of growth, of improvement. And hey, speaking of players and champs, I think Insanity on Azir has been crazy good to start this split. He has been finding solo engages for his team. He's played it 2 out of the 6 games so far, and going to get it for a third here. As confident to blind it. And I'm curious if we see Triple opt for the Vigar, something that we've seen historically into Azir, or maybe opt for something else, you know, like a Victor.
Actually, Cubby, I gotta correct myself. That's 2-0. He's undefeated on the Zeri right now. So flipping that one, fixing that one for you.
I have a decent memory. I was like, dude, I remember, like, we ran a clip of Spawn, where it was like him plus Yuumi, and we're like diving like tier 3 turret or something. It was filthy. So I was like, that had to have happened to PG. But yeah, that said, Lee Sin picked up for XU. Actually saw some small buffs on this patch. And I did tease XU's Lee Sin before. He's fantastic. He's won a game on this champ on the LCS stage. Excited to see him try and take that into Wisdom.
So with this phase 1, you have the mid lane and bot, just the marksman locked in for Dignitas Academy. XU being on that Lee Sin that you did just hype up. Excited to see that one. CLG gonna get some of that scaling going as they have the Engage of the Rakan paired with Aphelios and of course Rose Thorn on this Viego, one of those tools he utilized to best Team Liquid last week.
And I think for the side of CLG with Rakan, it's really important that you get going early. Rakan's someone that I really think didn't benefit from the durability patch. Like, Rakan's so powerful when you are able to get that upfront engage, all that burst damage with your team. Struggles at some of the later stages. So it's something that Breezy has played really well. Want to see if he can do it again in this one. But at the moment, I'm looking at Zeri, I'm looking at Azir, and I'm looking at CLG saying if they don't get clean kills to start off these fights, they will get melted throughout.
So now the ban's coming in. Focusing the support role is going to be CLG Academy. Kennen ban, you got to pay respects to Jenkins. You got to pay respects to Jenkins. So taking that away as well as the Ari. But this getting locked in. This is a fun pick to see Triple on. He cut so many teams with this Corki in the package.
Thinking back, it was played to perfection the second game they played against Team Liquid on the last day last week. And I did mention some of the scaling. CLG struggling with that. Yeah, Corki can like totally fix that on his own pretty much. So Corki is here. Yeah, it's back. It is what it is, as we have our second blind Jax of
It's
the day.
Tony Top. This one's not.
It is Tony Top. So that, I guess that spells out the cannon ban. And curious to see if we see Jenkins go for something like a Mel fight. It's actually not too bad this game. It would put a lot of priority still on the early stages, as Malphite does get outscaled now in durability meta pretty hard. But instead, oh boy, Deserex. Is that going to be Corki top? No.
Okay.
It can't be. It can't
No. I don't think Jenkins is that wild. I mean,
I was like,
he likes his Yordle.
I was
don't
on that
think he would be
12-11 Hopium, man. I was thinking it was out there.
You know what? I would be down for it at this point. Why not? Why not? You want to try things out. The beginning of a patch is the best time to get experimental, but it will be Corki in the mid lane. And again, Stripple playing it. He played it to great success against CLG, as you'd mentioned earlier. But Jenkins will be on the Akali in the top lane.
This is one of the few matchups that Akali actually fares pretty well into when it comes to the laning phase. Whenever Jax jumps in, you can dodge out on the counter-strike, with your Shuriken backflip. It can also just use the Shroud so he can't keep on pumping autos. So I like this for Jenkins. And, people forget Jenkins when he subbed in on the LCS stage. His Akali, he was playing Akali into, like, uber busted Gwen. I mean, Gwen's always been busted, but Gwen on release was uber busted. And Team Liquid was winning games. A lot of it was off of Jenkins' play on this Akali. He's always known for his cannon, Lulu, Lilia. I think his Akali is fantastic, too. We'll have to see if he can use it to help CLG get off to a good start in this early game, Deserex.
One of the plays that sticks out to me was his tower dive on Finn. If you remember that one. That one was something of something of beauty, to say the least, and it really shows you the upper limits of what Jenkins is capable of.
Gonna ask for our observers real quick to bring that scoreboard down and back up. We don't want to deal with the scoreboard bugs. Yeah, there we go.
There we go.
Yeah, we're gonna read that one early, as it's been a fun one here on the new patch. But shout out to our wonderful production team helping us out. As really for this game, I think that triple is the saving grace on this Corki, but I think it's really important that CLG gets off to a good start, tries to impact these side lanes, because we've seen what Zerayumi can do. We've seen what Jax can do already today. If these champions are allowed to get off the ground and going, they're going to be menaces for CLG in this game. Triple with the poke Corki is really the only thing that can save some of the scaling on the side of CLG. So I think it's really important to see CLG attack sides with Rosethorn early.
Rosethorn on this Viego. I definitely like seeing him on it. I like seeing what he's capable of when he can play something that has carry potential alongside of it. And I think there's a lot of stress on Rosethorn to still keep performing because, he is subbing in for someone else. He has to show that he is someone that you want on an Academy roster, that you want to have on your team. It's only going to be not too much longer before Kevy shows up, so Rosethorn has to show up now.
And so far, week one, I mean, Rosethorn did show up.
Yeah.
Averaging being up 330 gold at the 10-minute mark. That is first in the entire league. Out of all the junglers we have, I believe it's close to the top of the scoreboard, too, out of everyone. So I really think Rosethorn, again, he talks so much about making the most of the opportunities. Unfortunately for Rosethorn, not having a starting spot, a big bummer for him, especially after a split where I felt like it was his best split of Academy yet. But, again, making the most of it, playing really well with this opportunity. We'll see if he can continue to do that, as it is a mirrored start here for each of the junglers. And that means that Rosethorn has the potential to not be contested for one of these early plays on the bot side.
Paths into that direction. It's going to be XU. Pathing over towards that top side now. And Lee Sin, I mean, it's a very standard set champion. Do a lot of damage early, and enable your team early.
And for the side of Rosethorn, looks like he's just going to wrap with the Wolves. Should be a trade of crabs here, as both junglers pretty good timing. We will see if either jungler attacks the enemy's Krugs. As you can see, Tony Top has done a nice job of getting shoved early into Jenkins. Where this matchup starts to get interesting is when Akali hits 6. Level 6 for Akali, really big in this one, as sometimes with that Knight, that's your window to try and look for kills with what we expect to be a Proto Belt. We have seen some Night Harvester already today, as we will see XU retreat to get his own Krugs, whereas Rosethorn, if he sticks around here, he might get caught out.
The Krugs now started up. XU pathing into that direction. The moment he's spotted, you have to feel Spawn is going to pull off and try and find the collapse. Now XU realizing they're missing, but he hasn't spotted out Rosethorn yet. Finally going to see him. Moving forward will be Spawn. Now trying to collapse onto Rosethorn, but Rosethorn a little bit too fast there. Will find his escape.
And he has a level on XU. And also going to deny the Krugs, drops the Trinket. So XU not going to pick up the bonus gold. He is instead going to look for Rosethorn. Looking at the Raptors as XU actually does engage in the bot side. Rosethorn is in trouble.
Rosethorn trying to run away. Waiting for one more Q to come off cooldown. Sonic Wave just there, but the minion wave will catch it.
Really important that Rosethorn does survive that, as he can return to farm out the second spawn of the camps with the Raptors and also pick up his Krug. So off the first clear, Rosethorn actually pretty far ahead in this matchup, as playing with danger, but able to make it out.
The top lane of this Cubby is a little bit low-key hyped to me, because you already hyped up Jenkins in that aspect, but Tony Top, he is an avid Jax player. This is a champion he's gone to so many times. He's already gone to it once last week when it was the matchup versus TSM. That one went all the way to 50 minutes, man. So Tony Top, very comfortable.
He's our Jax enjoyer. I still believe he has over a 70% career win rate on the Jax. The fact that he is blinding this champion, we've seen him do it before. He's so comfortable. He knows all the matchups, and even in this one against Jenkins, doing real well early. As we will see if Jenkins can make the most of it as this game goes on. Again, for CLG. Really hoping to see them hit this mid-game spike hard. Because if Zeri is 0, allowed 2 DPS in the later stages, can get tough. Corki can be the saving grace, but we will have to see. As you can see, the CLG bot lane trying to trade into the Zeri now. And Zeri, I mean, farming those shields from the Rakan. The fact he gets some shields from the Yuumi as well feels really good in this matchup.
You have an Aphelios and Rakan that's trying to match us right now in some of these skirmishes. It's a tall task, especially when Spawn can just do that to get away from any pressure that's applied to him.
It's real fun. And it is a good window from Rosethorn to visit, as MASH does have the blue-purple combo. That means CC to try and control the Zeri. So I like the window there being visited by CLG, and while they will not net a kill, will net a dragon over to the side of CLG, so good stuff.
Rosethorn going to start this one up.
Maybe
Triple
not.
joining
they want to
them.
contest.
Now the contest coming out for XU, looking for the Sonic Wave. Nice sidestep coming out from Rosethorn, but there is Insanity joining in with the Shurima Shuffle. Pulls Rosethorn back in to get first blood for Dignitas.
And Insanity's Azir this split has been so good, Desirx, in all these games. It feels like he is the one dictating the pace of the game. I know, talking with Dignitas, they're praising Insanity early, saying, and he's contributing so much to comms, so much to the leadership direction and what we want to do in-game. And it feels like with Azir, it really empowers him to dictate fights, dictate the pace of the game, as yet again, he finds an engage that is huge for the side of Dignitas.
And in terms of playing Azir, he's been on a 5-game win streak all the way from the last time he's played it in LCS to Academy Summer.
Look at this.
This is his stuff right here.
I didn't have that one in my notebook, Desirx. That's good stuff coming out there. As Insanity hot hand. Oh, we got the cinematics for this one too. Love the call. Again, Axu, knowing that Rosethorn doesn't have Flash, him and Insanity just cruise right by the Dragon, right by the mid laner of CLG. Scoop up Rosethorn and take him for himself.
So with that, a strong start coming out from Dignitas. They're able to get the Dragon, they got First Blood, and most importantly, they got Spawn really oppressing this bot lane of CLG. MASH just shoved so far underneath.
And I'm curious to see what Dignitas ends up doing around this Rift Herald, because if, at the moment, Tony Top actually rushing Hex Drinker in this matchup. Definitely a matchup-specific build. Tony Top probably knows. I would trust him on the Jax, but at the moment, Tony Top, he's had perma prio in that top side. And I want to see if Dignitas can continue to really push this early advantage they built for themselves on the map. As Corki going to be a long ways from being online. You can take advantage of that early push from the Azir. Looks like they're fighting for the Rift Herald. They will have to be careful about Jenkins on this Kali. Jenkins could shred this fight.
Jenkins stalking in. Still looking to try and complete this. It's going to be Dignitas, but CLG are contesting, and XU has lost a lot of health.
Nice.
That big one landing right onto XU cannot be denied. Rosethorn will secure the Rift Herald.
Well done from Triple. Again, CLG playing it slow, utilizing those rockets. It is the one thing that we really feel like CLG has going for them in the later stages. If Rosethorn, or I should say, if Triple is allowed to get going, those rockets could hurt, and Dignitas is a low-range team. So, again, saving grace late game. We'll see how much work Corki scaling can do as XU might be in trouble. See if Rosethorn goes. Will not be the case. Last one out.
So now CLG, it is a little bit of a slow burn for them as they start to take their recalls. What I'm waiting for is the first package to come down, because that's going to be where the fun begins. Usually, a lot of Corkis will start contest around Drake with those packages, because it's so easy to just cut a team in half. You saw that Triple was able to do exactly that with Team Liquid last week. Triple kind of waiting around for that final purchase, so keeping an eye on that 2 minutes and 20 seconds before Dragon does spawn.
No, I like that call out, and honestly, that's what I'm expecting from CLG. Grab that package for the second Dragon. We saw them do it against Team Liquid last week. Again, if you do have that Dragon, or that package for the Dragon, I think that's a very, very strong window where CLG can look to really punish and push the pace against Dignitas. And then Dignitas will have to play around as we move throughout this game. As, again, CLG trying to pick up on the momentum that they had coming off that humongous 2-0 against their ex-Proving Grounds champions from the last split in Team Liquid.
We saw the tweet from earlier, Cubby. How vindicating for Jenkins to beat his former squad mates.
Yeah, and Jenkins, again, great interview. Just talking bluntly about how important it was for him to take down TL, take down Romeo, and really prove that Jenkins, I mean, has a lot left in the tank. Of course, not losing that LCS starting spot to Doko, who had a very admirable split. Bummer for him, but I think he's really taken it in stride and just trying to play the best League of Legends he can, wherever that might be. He's been a big part of CLG's 4-2 start, and hoping to see Jenkins ride that momentum. As in the top lane, backflip will not connect, but Tony Top, seeing the pace come out, knows he has to be respectful of Rosethorn potentially being here.
Rosethorn taking his recall now as he tries to scope out where the next plan of attack is going to be. Now pathing towards this bottom lane, because we're getting towards that timer we were talking about a couple moments ago, that Dragon timer. 35 seconds before it does come up. Breezy now heading back to lane, and right there, Triple takes his recall. He's trying to take his recall, at least, if Insanity would let him, but yeah, here it is.
I think this is great timing from Triple, too. You have the teleport coming off cooldown, so expect him to grab the package, TP mid, and try and get a strong window where you can play around this as, all right, no TP needed. Just going to take advantage of the fact that that package makes sure you're zooming throughout the rift. We'll see if Triple can utilize this to secure this second Dragon here for CLG.
And now the focus of CLG is towards the bottom lane. XU having JJ right on him. Looking to get a gank over here. Sonic Wave goes out, doesn't land onto Breezy. Now Triple's taking a little bit of damage before this potential fight does break out. Insanity be trying to get as much as possible to net themselves any leverage they can for this potential Dragon fight. And Triple going down to half health.
That's big. Triple not going to be able to get that back. XU now looking nice sidestep. Nice. Does take some poke from the Yuumi, but that's going to prevent Triple from diving into the backline like we've seen him do historically on this pick. Is nice angle here from Spawn. Actually split from the team. Can skirt on over there if Dignitas wants, but I'd say at the moment, Herald is dropped from CLG that will pressure bot. Now, here we go.
Oh, in isolation is Insanity, but no one can follow up in time. Triple versus Insanity on one end, but look at CLG go as they're able to get the first reset going through. Triple falls down. Now Rosethorn waiting in the wings, but it's Spawn running forward, finding more and chasing CLG right to the base. Underneath the tower, CLG going to try and stay up, but Mash will be safe. What was looking like a fight for CLG, you know, all that poke for Insanity paid its dividends.
And it will be Dragon for CLG as the consolation prize, but again, Insanity getting jumped on by Triple, by the package. He played that so well, still finding the scoop, taking out the Corki at the end of the day, as I think each team should walk away with something there. And we see some of the potential of what CLG is looking to do, which is net that first kill for the Diego and use that to really bridge the scaling gap. But if you are not able to have a clean engage, clean start to the fight, Zeri, Azir, the DPS these two champions pump out throughout the fight is massive. And that's something that CLG don't have those good engages. They will have to deal with as things go on.
Right there, Insanity picking up some kills, even though the Drake did go over to CLG. I'm looking at a 2-0-0 Azir right now on something he's been playing so well with. Even looking at the gold, 300 gold lead, not too much into this mid lane at the moment, as kill was picked up by Triple in the part of that. But so far, so good. Dragon apiece.
We'll see what happens around the second Rift Herald, as I think the fact that you pointed out, you know, the windows of the package, that's going to be really big this game. Because if package is not available, I think that, significantly weakens COG's chance to fight as Insanity. Gotta burn the E to make sure the patience doesn't reset on the blue rock. That's all his. That's clean.
Belongs to me.
Yeah.
Just walk away, you know?
Yeah, I like that.
Deserve the
No
VIP
worries.
treatment.
No worries. Blue buff for the mid laner. That's good stuff. As we'll see if Rosethorn. I really like this from Rosethorn. This is a great read. JJ trying to get back to the bot lane from a potential dive.
Not spotted.
Yumi's in trouble.
Not spotted yet. Rosethorn. He's stalking. He's waiting. Jump in.
Oh, he's really waiting.
Ooh, here we go. Able to jump in. Finally finds JJ. XU has to get there in a hurry, but not going to be allowed as Breezy gets the charm and Rosethorn gets a kill.
That's a great read coming out from Rosethorn, and something that we are seeing a lot of other teams and junglers adapt to, and that is on red side. If a team rotates to Herald, it's really easy for you with the terrain in the map to cut them off, especially with the portals, as they rotate back to bot lane to try and save their team from a dive. So this is something that I think was really big in the MSI meta, and something that we're seeing these academy teams, watching the highest level of pro play, really adapt to. And really good read from Rosethorn, again, giving his team a bit of an advantage for CLG. I think it's 1.5K gold lead early. It's nice. We'll see if they can snowball it into more. Still concerned about the scaling of the Zeri and the DPS of the Azir, and their inability to take out people at the start of the fight as this game moves forward. But CLG at the moment, what else can you ask for, really?
Even when Dignitas try and set up a play into the bottom lane, recall's already called by the bot lane of CLG, and Rosethorn just grabbed Herald on the opposite side of the map, so Dignitas, they're just not finding.
And this has really been the recipe for success for CLG, as after week 1 of Academy play, this team had the highest gold differential at 15 in the league at a whopping 2,800 plus gold. And this was the identity for them last split, too. Think of that roster with Dokwa, Prismal, Rosethorn. They were running early games. That's how they took first place in Academy. So Juves, even with the new squad, even with some subs stepping in, he's still got the boys in shape for their early games to be going the way of CLG. Really good to see them put together some very nice early games in the early season. Is now Rosethorn.
You onto Rosethorn. Gets the cripple onto Rosethorn. Finally another Sonic Wave. Hit, but no resonating strike onto Rosethorn. Doesn't want the Lee syndrome. Will not do the follow through. The threat of triple with a lot of those missiles coming out, poking in quite a bit of damage. Now the bot lane going down, and that right there is first brick completely isolated onto an Aphelios.
We'll say Mash doing pretty well in the start of the game. Has that Champs Q account and experience. Of course, that X-Pro experience. But hey, almost a little bit less than 2 years off. That can be tough. I think Mash doing his best here, trying to help his boys get the win. Yeah, no, Choose had a great day today, so I think Mash trying to channel some of that energy, man.
It's a tough one. Trying to match Choose. He was being the complete leader of that squad over for Golden Guardians. Now look at this.
Here comes
coming
Triple.
out.
That's a package too.
Yeah, that is a package, and responded to here. Triple just waiting out with his package. Rosethorn coming out into flank, and Breezy on another flank. So many members
TP
right here.
South too. That's really deep from Jenkins. As Dignitas just being pulled around the map here, Deserex. Yeah, the Rift Herald mid. The tower survives. Look at this angle that Breezy Jenkins has to spawn.
Ooh, right from the bush onto Spawn, and they're going to take him down. Wait, Spawn able to flash away, still staying alive. No, Spawn's alive. You got to be kidding me. Triple will chase him down. But that is so much extra time spent coming out of CLG. It's going to result in another death as Dignitas are going to take 2. Now, more to fall. CLG able to get some resets going on to Rosethorn. If that Sonic Wave landed, you know he would have followed through right after Tony Top. Could have gotten onto Insanity, but finally the fight going to end. A 3-for-2 exchange. CLG getting the better of it.
And that setup from CLG was so good. Breezy on the flank with this Rakan. Is Rakan the best pick that's on the patch at the moment? No, but is it something that Breezy has consistently performed on? Absolutely, and Breezy showing it again as the angle from him and Jenkins. Even with Spawn surviving as long as he could, it was still a doomsday fight from the start for the side of Dignitas.
I was really hopeful right there for a second when I saw Spawn able to get away with low health.
Yeah,
but
that was filthy.
Yeah, just got to keep a reminder that the package exists as we take another look at that fight.
Look at how they are able to manipulate Vision CLG. Look at the wards they had to prepare for this flank as Jenkins, Breezy making the most of it. And even with Triple really taking a one-way trip to make sure that Zeri is taken out of the fight, it still totally splits up Dignitas as Insanity, Tony Top. Split from Axius, split from JJ as the two lone members for Dignitas in the pit fall on the back half, and CLG pick up another Dragon, amass this gold lead to 2.5K, and continue their really nice execution of this composition.
These setups, you can tell a lot of these plays, you can tell a lot of the playbook, excuse me for the lack of a better word, for CLG is around the setup, and they're looking to set up something over onto the top lane as Triple continue to try and go after Insanity, who flashes away, trying to get the outplay, a couple of hits onto Rosethorn, looking to follow through. Tony Top is going to join, but Insanity doesn't want to chase that one, still able to chase 3 members of CLG off of it.
Jeez, man. Insanity somehow living there is huge, and now this opens up the rest of his team to go for a play mid. Mash in trouble.
Mash, wrong place to be. Dragon's Rage comes out, gets followed through with the Sonic Wave and the turret dive. Too easy, a kill going on to Spawn.
And that play was made by Insanity. The fact that Insanity lives top, everyone spotted, he chases them off. It's a free play for Dignitas mid as Insanity, again, stepping up huge on this Azir. Has a 2-item spike, and we really have to keep our eyes on Insanity as this game moves forward, because he is the one that, again, if CLG does not execute clean plays, the DPS from Zeri and Azir will take over these team fights. And Insanity is the one very far ahead of the power curve with all the gold he has in his back pocket, so eyes got to be on Insanity moving forward.
Yeah, as he wails away at this top lane tower, Triple trying to respond to it. Insanity just so far ahead. Veil, the Lute, and Zeko. CLG are looking for a response, but they can't seem to find it. Everywhere there is pressure coming out from Dignitas. Now, even at the top side, Tony Top doing all right against Jenkins, now becoming that split push mode where he just tries to keep Jenkins locked down.
Okay.
Now CLG are going to repeat.
Second time's a charm, potentially.
It's a salty run back over here for this
No
game.
flash this time.
They want to take down Insanity. Insanity's already walking away, so even without his flash, kind of sniff something out, and he's going to go ahead and find his way to safety.
He's scared, but this is also really good map play from Dignitas. Just Insanity recognizing that, hey, Tony Top, pushed to the enemy side of the map. The fact that we still have a seesaw game state going means that I've got people most likely on my side of the map since we don't see anyone there. So I think Insanity intelligently dropping that wave, preventing the play from CLG, is now Dignitas trying to take this mid-outer.
That goes down. Another turret picked up. Spawn will grab that one. Triple over on the top side. It will be a trade of towers. CLG taking the top. Dignitas in the mid lane.
And we'll see what ends up happening around this upcoming Dragon, because something that I have liked from Dignitas so far, Triple, or I should say Dig, they're trying to bunch up, but I think the fact that COG and Triple have kept this package timer synced up with the Dragon does make these Dragon fights difficult. The fact that Dig were able to, I guess, get out-navigated in the last one, again, package, a big deal. That and the flank that COG had. So I'm curious that now that Dig has a couple more items under their belts and maybe some knowledge of what COG is looking to do to attack them in these Dragon fights, so they're able to mark their flank a little bit better and try and take this Dragon for themselves. And so far, look at the bot side of the river. Dignitas do not have any wards behind them, so that is a big positive when looking at this upcoming Quad Dragon.
Yeah, looking at Triple right now. The setup coming through. 20 seconds that we have until the Drake is about to spawn. Taking a look at the Summoners, Mash still waiting for that flash to come back up, and the same thing with Insanity, so do have some vulnerabilities in the armor for both teams.
Yeah, I like the fact to bring up Insanities too, because we really are putting an emphasis on him in this game, and COG, that is someone they can look to attack. As Triple, he just based, he's getting the package, but this Dragon's already been gone by the time he gets it and is at the fight. So we're going to see if he TPs and how hard COG pushes on the back half.
CLG looking for the fight, but there's none to be had. Just a simple hop over the wall, and CLG are empty-handed.
And that's really good for Dig, too, because now Triple, the Dragon's down. It's a 5-minute cooldown on the Dragon and on the package, and Triple still has that. So now it's desync timer. So I think this will force COG to maybe bait out a Baron play. I would not be surprised if they started it here and tried to pull the TP of Tony top.
Oh, the tension right now.
Oh, they got a ward.
Spotted right there, so
Yeah.
no worries for CLG.
Dig knows they're
Dignitas,
hiding.
excuse me.
Oh, man. Rosethorn's about to get the bad news. Good series of play here from both teams. As now we'll see Triple with this package. He just used it on the wave as to be expected. Again, really big deal. Package no longer synced, and this means that Dignitas, the next Dragon fight's going to be a lot easier for him.
There goes the package finally used there. Positioning towards the Baron for CLG, but not looking for a fight right now. Not looking for a take right now. Just looking for small advantages as we head 24 minutes into this. And a relatively even game overall. XE with a little bit of bullying on Rosethorn.
I know we've been putting a big emphasis on Insanity, having the 3 kills, being the Azir. But Triple is now at the state of the game where Corki is pretty filthy for the rest of the game. As you have the evolved Miramana and the Loon Zeko. And, yeah, those rockets starting to do a lot of damage. As, Insanity going to be forced to use the ult.
Some damage onto that top lane tower. Ultimate going to be burnt away, but there's nothing to really worry about anytime soon other than tower taking. So not the biggest resource to be down for Insanity.
While this is all going on, we can see, I should say the tide's changing in this top lane match with Breezy. Nice flash.
Flashes away. Easy on the dash. And now XU falls through, looking for Triple. Exhaust comes out. Triple's okay, though, because he has backup. Rosethorn and now looking to join the fight. But the retreat called from Dignitas. Trying to find picks, not staying for the extended skirmishes.
And honestly, this is something that's going to be interesting as we shift into the later stages of the game. Neither team has great engage tools. Like Breezy, yeah, like Rakan is a nice engage tool, but it's really nice when you have melee members to piggyback off of. Akali and Corki, Viego don't want to really be starting fights. They'd rather follow up. And for Dignitas, I mean, a Shurima shuffle's great, but you can't really fully commit to it until you have a Zanya's. And it's going to be a death cap coming out from Insanity. So it really is on Axu to try and find these plays solo. And in a game where engage is lacking, that means that poke becomes all the more valuable. And Triple, damn, he's hitting hard on this Corki. So I think Dig, you know, they have to be careful next couple fights, next couple stages of the game to make sure that whatever fight they want to take first, they do it cleanly.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the next missile to come out. I just want to see how much damage a single missile on XU. Pops out, gonna miss it. Come on, Triple. Supposed to land that one. Engage that damage.
You know what? He's just rotating it out to get the big one, just to make you all the more happier, Deserex.
Be waiting for that.
That's big
And
time.
it looks like he wants to use it on Insanity because he's headed over towards that top side right now alongside Rosethorn.
He's got to pop the passive.
Hop over the wall. Passive going to be used by Insanity to get that Shurima turret on up. So Insanity just staking his claim over towards that top side, saying you can't challenge me. CLG putting their attention elsewhere.
This does mean that he will not have the passive for the Dragon setup, and it feels like both teams low engage, a little bit of priority on the side lanes. We're both prioritizing those Dragons, and we should see resets coming out here soon. Important to note, as I'd say Deserex has been highlighting very correctly, there is no package up for Triple in this upcoming Dragon fight. Now Rosethorn. See if Insanity commits the flash. Rosethorn a little bit caught.
Will not follow on the resonating strike.
Those still way backs.
Delaying backs with 45 seconds left on that Dragon timer, and Dignitas, seeing that, they head straight towards that side of the map.
And really keep your eyes, again, on Insanity this next fight. If Insanity bases and TPs, he will have that death cap most likely available in the inventory. So, big power spike for the Azir. And we'll have to see if Dignitas can take a fight clean enough. As Breezy, that's without the team. Okay. That's big. There's no engage tool now for CLG.
Wow. Yeah, so, simply popping the ultimate right there, and no one else there to follow up. Yeah, CLG, they've just lost they've just completely lost their advantage on that. Dignitas, easy Dragon take coming out for them. Mistake for CLG on that one, and now that's going to be Dragon Soul point set up for Dignitas.
And now for the side of COG, it really is decision time with Triple. do they pull the package to try and pressure this Baron? Or do you wait, leave the package in base for, 4+ minutes to try and make sure you have it for a potential Hextech Soul fight? Really curious to see what CLG decides to do with that. Because if you take the package in the next couple minutes and you aren't able to get a lot out of it, you got to believe that that Soul is going to be really tough for them to get. With, Tony pushing in these side lanes now on the Jax. He's gotten to the point of the matchup where he's tanky enough that Kala can't do too much. Oh boy. Scoop. Uh-oh. Good night.
Oh my goodness, Insanity. Just pushing Triple against the wall. Will find the pick onto Triple.
Start it. Death cap is here, baby. It's pumping damage.
Yeah, goodbye, Baron. Goodbye, Baron. Just waiting for Insanity to get over there and to start wailing it. Now Rose Thorn has to do something. He has to do something quick. Jenkins looking to show up as well. Rose Thorn over the wall, looking for the steal. Will Rose Thorn be able to get it? He has Flash. He also has his ultimate, waiting for the Heartstopper. 2k health remains. Jumping in is going to be Jenkins. And now here comes Rose Thorn. Rose Thorn over the wall, looking to get the steal. Rose Thorn gets the steal. He's able to secure the Baron, but this still might be Dignitas' fight. Chasing down Jenkins. Tony Top will secure it onto Jenkins. And CLG, even though it's a team fight loss, that Baron pick so crucial.
And for the side of Dig, the reason that opened up is the fact that Breezy, he charmed, comboed Axew. Axew was going for the combo where you kick the enemy jungler away from the Baron pit and then hop back in with either, a W dash or a Sonic Wave. It was canceled, nullified by Breezy. So Rose Thorn was in the pit solo. He gets the Baron for free.
Just watch Breezy. Keep your eyes on Breezy for this one, as well as Rose Thorn and how he's able to follow up with it.
Yeah.
Waiting for that ultimate.
This was, I think, a decent attempt from Axew, but you just can't go for this. He flashed right into Breezy, and all of a sudden he's out of the pit. So Jenkins, Rose Thorn, they see this, they call, they're like, all right, that's ours. I'm just going to smite this one away for myself. Thank you very much. Axew can't get back in because he's comboed up, and just like that, CLG, they turn that situation from being dire on their side to keeping this an even game state. And again, that package now, Triple, no reason to grab it, right? Save that for the Hextech Soul fight.
Baron being acquired by CLG. Some very split decision-making coming out on the side of Dignitas. Breezy, just that capitalization with the ultimate, so beautiful. And now a good spot for CLG to be in as they try and set up some sieges, try and set up the lane states to work into their favor. You have Jenkins going down to the bottom lane to go match Insanity.
Why does Zeri W do that much damage? I think that was like 600 magic damage crit coming through onto Breezy. That is, whew, filthy.
Hurts. There's no mosquito bite there. Just straight on car crash.
Oh man, spawn with the IE, that is really important for the Zeri. Again, Zeri is allowed to scale into a team fight. She becomes a problem. And for the side of Dignitas, the further this game goes along, the more durability their carries receive, and the more DPS their carries have. So it really is going to have to be Triple finding some really good rockets to try and give themselves any form of advantage before the 5v5 breaks out, because if it breaks out in even footing, Dignitas has to be the one that have the advantage.
All right, so the spell shield is going to be popped with Insanity thanks to those rockets coming out from Triple. Insanity still going to be really healthy, all things considered. CLG only pushing away as Dignitas pushes away this top tower. Having Tony Top up there. CLG looking for the cut here. Look at XU go, but Breezy able to stop him. XU goes golden. There is the ultimate going through, trying to find Triple. Doesn't get a root onto Triple. Here comes Tony Top on the flank, though. He's trying to find Breezy. He's trying to get onto Triple. Triple has some rockets. Over the wall comes Insanity. Will take down Triple. Now looking for more off this duo at the top and mid lane. Looking for the flank is going to be Insanity. Running away. You can't escape it. Dignitas deletes CLG for a team fight win.
And again, if you don't have Queen engages, we're not going to be able to turn it. So Axew, that attempt, I thought it was a valiant effort again from Breezy. He denied the combo fully from the Lee Sin, but CLG, they weren't grouped up. They couldn't utilize Jenkins to get on the backline, take someone out immediately. And if that doesn't happen, Insanity spawn, they will rip through you in the extended team fight as Dig smash the fight, take an inhibitor, and now we'll see what happens around this Hextech Soul, because they did stay around a long time. Triple does spawn with the dragon. I think at this point, Dig are just going to shred this on spawn, looking like CLG cannot take it. It's Hextech Soul for Dignitas, and that's got to be the game. You cannot compete with the Hextech Soul against Azir and Zeri.
You can't even get Jenkins in time. His death timer was so staggered, but somehow they're still going to look for this fight. This could be so risky right now, but Triple might not have a choice here. He has the package. You could get the cut right there onto XU, who has been isolated, but I don't think he's been spotted out yet. Now XU coming around. Rosethorn's over there. CLG again empty-handed. Dignitas too fast.
They got out. That's got to be game. I really don't know how CLG can compete with a Hextech Soul Azir. It's now a Zanya's completed for Insanity. And man, how good has Insanity been on this champion at the start of Academy? Again, a former LCS player. Usually we see a lot of these guys take breaks. Insanity did not. He played an amateur with 80 ping, mind you. Just helping train General Sniper, helping train some of the members of 100 Thieves Next, and to see him come back in Academy, have that 8 ping environment these guys have now back out in LA playing on these servers. He has been nothing but fantastic to start off this split.
Yeah, he's showing up, and let's see if he can continue that in this team fight right now. It's going to break out. CLG, a last chance. Out comes the Emperor's Divide. Insanity able to get 1 kill, but Jenkins finds Insanity. Now Spawn able to get over the wall, kind of unchecked here as he walks right on that ramp, looking for Jenkins. Jenkins falls low. Rosethorn falls lower. XU able to grab that one, but Spawn still on a killing spree. We'll find more. Mash returning fire, though. The Aphelios finally starting to come online. Triple and Mash looking to find it, but the return of fire coming from XU. Going golden is going to be Mash. A beautiful sonic wave. Resonating strike to close it out, and XU finds a double, finds the ace. Dignitas marching into the base.
And they removed the 2 carries for Dig, but the damage was already done as everything was used to take out the Azir, take out the Zeri, and now Dig get to take out the base of CLG as they're going to take game 1.
My goodness, what a performance coming out from both of these squads, being 4-2 apiece. But when it came down to it, Insanity was able to show up on this Azir, extends that 5-game win streak on Azir to a 6-game. Dignitas taking this game 1, my word.
And it feels like in the new patch, in the durability meta, Azir has returned to being that late-game Emperor. We have seen it from Insanity, we have seen it from Spyrax, and not only are you the late-game king, but you also have the ability to play make early with the Emperor's Divide, with the Shuriba Shuffle, if you're able to utilize the flash, get behind mid. So it's really fun watching some of these mid laners pilot a champ where I haven't seen Azir be this dominant since he was released in like Season 5, Season 6. They're playing it so well on this champion, and it's starting to look like for a lot of these teams, you just have to take Azir away from the mid laner. Because what we've seen Spyrax and Insanity do on this champion, it's been filthy.
Yeah. Shurima, your Emperor has returned, and his name is Insanity. A great performance coming out from him and Dignitas as a whole. But we got a game number 2. We're going to take a moment to take a break, and when we return, we got our intermission with Mazel, so be sure to stay tuned.